Over the last decade, downtown Fort Wayne has evolved into an open-air gallery, turning ordinary city walls into extraordinary works of art that encourage exploration and community connection. The newest mural, located at 206 Pearl Street, is from one of the world's most celebrated mural teams, Studio Giftig, the Dutch artist duo known for creating massive photorealistic murals around the globe. Commissioned through Art This Way and in partnership with Downtown Fort Wayne, the mural demonstrates how creativity has become an economic development strategy here in Fort Wayne. Joining us to discuss this epic new mural is the manager of Art This Way, Alexandra Hall, and the director of marketing for Downtown Fort Wayne, Preston Wallace. Welcome to the 260.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks for being here, guys. So this mural is called River of Knowledge.
Yes.
What story is this telling?
So the artists tend to, when they travel to a place, decide what's special to the community. Let's find out what might resonate with the locals. And our three rivers feature pretty highly in downtown Fort Wayne. And they also are part of why we see the economic growth and the existence of the city today.
The rivers, okay.
The rivers. So what they're really trying to depict is that through rivers and waterways have flown decades and centuries of people, information, and it's part of why Fort Wayne is what Fort Wayne is.
All right, but there's this woman, and she's got, what are those globes that are coming up? Those are apples?
They're apples, yes. So there's a little bit of a nod to our Johnny Appleseed past, but it's really also because the fruit of knowledge is also the apple. And so it's, again, kind of tying into that idea of the flow of knowledge through time.
So you said that the artists decide. How'd you land on this duo, Studio Giftig?
Yeah, so we have about 60% of our works in our collection are from regional artists, and then about 40% are internationally recognized creatives. And so we're really trying to curate, as you already stated, an outdoor gallery experience. Yeah. And when we bring in artists of that level of know-how and they're world famous, you really are augmenting into the collection something that likened to like a Renoir in a museum. You're bringing in the most famous muralists in the world.
So how does the process work? Do you put out the call? It's like, hey, Fort Wayne, Indiana is looking for a mural this size, who's interested?
It's nuanced. We work on these projects for anywhere from 3 to 5 years, so it does take some time to get to a place where we're even speaking with artists, but we do also send out feelers to the most famous artists in the world and find out if they'd be interested in visiting our community.
Preston, how did the whole process evolve for putting up all these murals, and also what do you think of the results of this particular mural, this new one?
Yeah, so thankfully Alex has a lot of the legwork here. I get to come in and do a lot of the storytelling after the fact, and also just share a little bit more about the artist, facilitate media interviews, requests, things of that nature. But public art has become one of the most important building blocks for our economic development strategy here in downtown Fort Wayne. We're really proud of the work that we're doing. As Alex mentioned, we've got a really nice blend of both local, regional, national, and even international artists. So to be able to showcase that work through a public art program such as Art This Way and continue to scale that and grow that over the last decade has been nothing short of amazing. We do a lot of tours with folks from out of town throughout the country, and so public art is always at the top of the list in terms of what they remember and what they're really amazed by in downtown Fort Wayne.
How is it that you gauge the impact of public art?
Well, I think there's the economic impact of it in itself.
How do you gauge that, though?
When you're looking at what you're doing to bring those artists into the country or into the state, if they're not local, what does that look like in terms of the pay that they're receiving, the amount of money that's going into the project itself? They obviously scale in terms of cost depending on the material that you're using, the scale of the actual mural or art installation in itself. But also, I think a lot of it has to do with the quality of life amenities that we are constantly measuring and looking at in terms of the impact overall throughout the community. Are we drawing people downtown? Are they lingering longer? Are they spending dollars locally and going on to the next thing that they're seeing? And Alex has been really intentional in terms of how we program and where we activate those different art installations as part of that impact.
So Alex, how do you program? I mean, there are a lot of walls downtown, right? So how do you choose the ones that you target, and then how does the blueprint or the creative process for what will go there come about?
Right. So this is very strategic. It's not happening randomly. We are looking at connecting spaces. So we have, for example, Promenade Park. We're looking for the connectivity to Tin Cap Stadium. then we're looking for the connectivity from TinCap to the Art Museum.
And when you say connectivity, what does that mean? Does that
Right.
mean like you're going to, as you travel along, you'll see one mural, then you'll see
Right.
another?
So humans need to be inspired about every 25 to 30 feet.
No
this
kidding.
is the fact. And so,
So that's,
yes.
that's the
So
answer.
as you're walking from space to space, if you find something that incites discovery, something that incites excitement, which murals and public art can do, you're essentially infilling what would otherwise be a drab experience. And when something is lacking in interest, people will go back to their vehicles and they will choose not to move on. They will choose not to linger. They will choose not to go to the restaurant, spend money. So we know that by connecting those spaces, we're actually encouraging people to stay in downtown longer.
Interesting. Do you participate in the creative process, once you engage an artist?
To an extent. So there's a big answer to that question, but I will say yes to an extent. But largely, artists are hired because they're talented and they're creating something amazing. And my job is more about advocacy and giving them a platform for that artwork to exist in our community.
Do you at least give them a blueprint of what the intention is, or is that left to the creative
It depends
process?
on the project. So some projects, the funding might direct the theme. For other projects, it might be that the artist's style dictates what kind of theme we might see. So if we release a call to the artists and we have a specific theme in mind, we're always very transparent about that. So when
Right.
artists apply, they
knowing,
know that's
knowing
the
what
idea.
they're getting into.
Yes.
What attracts international artists to work in Fort Wayne?
I think one of the things is that we have already created a platform for other international artists. So often if they see someone who they've met in Berlin and they say, oh, you have one of their works here, I would love to see my work also in that collection. So there is an extent of that to it. So the Field of Dreams model, we built the platform and now
they
they're
will come.
coming.
Yeah.
Yes.
So how many total murals are downtown now?
So we have the Clean Drain Fort Wayne program, which brings temporary murals to the community. So if we count those, there's hundreds.
Okay.
But if we're looking at just large-scale pieces,
Sure.
we're probably closer to around 35 to 40 large-scale within our footprint of downtown.
Wow. And how has this program evolved from when you started?
So when we began, there was a lot of conversation around, is this a place for a downtown to live? Should we be implementing public art as a downtown improvement organization? And what we found is that a lot of the peer organizations across the country were starting this process, and now our program is one of the best in the country. So we have a lot of downtown improvement district peer organizations that have attempted to implement something like this. And now they look to us for basically the formula as to how it can work. So when it began, it was very scrappy. And now I would say it's quite more formalized.
Yeah, there was quite a bit of resistance at the time, and this predates my time with the organization, but Alex has worked tirelessly to really educate and bring awareness of the impact that public art has in a community, and that's a troublesome process at points, and it's gruesome and time consuming, but
Gruesome.
it is one of
Well,
those.
it's part of the beautification.
It absolutely
Yes, it is.
Unless
It is.
people are some people just like, oh, I really hate that mural.
I think that's what's important, yes, and I'm happy to hear it because
Yeah.
I think if it's incited any type of opinion, it's done what it's supposed to do.
Yeah,
You're supposed to
exactly.
notice it, it's supposed to start conversation, and I love it when it's someone who decides they are engaged enough to share an opinion.
Preston, in the matrix of all the things that make downtown Fort Wayne special, where does the art play?
Public art is at the top of the list. I would say between that and our food and beverage scene, which continues to flourish and take off, we have such a wide variety of different culinary options and opportunities to experience different cultures. And public art and food really go hand in hand in that respect. And so they're both avenues of bringing people together, starting conversations, building community. And again, it's taken off over the last decade, and we're really excited to see where it goes in the next.
Alexander, what's next for Art This Way?
Oh, so this is our 10-year anniversary,
Oh,
as you
fantastic.
mentioned. So we
Congratulations.
have a very big event on Broadway. This is the first time the Broadway corridor has been part of our footprint. And so we're welcoming them into the fold with a large-scale 2-day festival, October 2nd and October 3rd. And that will include new murals as well.
Oh, fantastic. Can't wait to go there. So the new mural is called River of Knowledge. Go experience it for yourself. It's located at 206 Pearl Street on the Landing in downtown Fort Wayne. And you can learn more at downtownfortwayne.com and at artthiswayfw.com. Thank you both for being here.
Thank you.
See you.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me.